If you've ever watched a Wemmbu video, you'll know that his thumbnails are really good, as well as the other unstable creators. But what most people don't know is how to actually make them. So I made this video to teach you all how to do just that. Disclaimer, there is no right or wrong way to make a thumbnail, this is just my method and you may decide to do things differently, which is okay. Also, if you end up finding this tutorial helpful, I'd really appreciate if you subscribed. If you have any questions, feel free to join my Discord, I'll leave the link in the description. So, I've divided this video into a couple sections: the setup, planning, capturing the screenshots, editing, and the final touches and compression. So, starting with the setup. Before you can actually make the thumbnail, you'll need something to edit with. I use Photoshop, but a good free alternative you can use is Photopea. You will also need the flashback mod. It's basically replay mode, but much better. Finally, you'll need to create a Minecraft world so you can actually take the screenshots. I tend to use a server because it's much easier. So once you have all of those, you can move on to planning. Open up YouTube and find a couple YouTubers whose thumbnails you really like. For this video, I'll be using Wemmbu. Then find a few thumbnails that you like and download them. You'll need these later. Then, make a note of what you want your thumbnail to look like. For example, my friend, who I'm making this thumbnail for, already gave me a description. If you're good at drawing, you can do that instead. Now open up Photoshop or whatever you're using, and add the thumbnails or thumbnail you downloaded earlier. Make sure it's at the top and lower its opacity slightly. This will help you align everything better. Once that's done, you can go into your Minecraft world or server and begin positioning yourself with a screenshot. Keep in mind, you'll want to start your flashback recording before you start positioning yourself, because it tends to mess up your position if you do it after. When you're done, open up the flashback recording and set your FOV to 30. Toggle everything on the side except render players. Then once you find a good position, you can click export screenshot. Make sure anti-aliasing is on, as well as transparent sky. I find that 2560 by 1440 is the best resolution for thumbnails, as 4K is a bit unnecessary since you'll compress it in the end anyway. After it's exported, put it into Photoshop and align it with a thumbnail you downloaded earlier. Repeat this step for each element you need, such as the other players in the wall. Now we can begin the actual editing process. Once you have everything you need, you can add the shadows like this. And then just copy and resize each of them. Then hit Ctrl, Shift and A and play around with the settings until the player stands out more, but don't overdo it. Do this for everything including the wall, the sky and the ground. This step isn't that important, but something I like doing is color grading the items individually to make them pop. After this is done, you can begin adding glow. I never have set values for glow, I just kind of play around with it until it looks good, so you can do that too. But whatever you do, avoid adding too much glow. I've seen a lot of smaller YouTubers make that mistake, and it can easily ruin the thumbnail. Also, this isn't necessary, but for the thumbnail, I decided to make the armor trim stand out a bit more. Everything from this point on is just freestyling, playing around and adding stuff until you're satisfied. Here, I added a bit of light shining on the logs, because it's daytime in the thumbnail. I also decided I wanted some grass in front of the players to add more depth. And thumbnail's done. This one only took me like an hour to make, and I'm actually really happy with the end result. Now, you probably think you can just export it and upload it to YouTube, but you'd be wrong. YouTube actually has a limit of 2 megabytes for a thumbnail, and this is where people often make the biggest mistake. They Google file compressor or something along those lines, and then just compress it, which completely destroys the quality. Instead, you want to go on this website I found called Squoosh and upload a thumbnail. Then, using these settings, you can get it as close to 2 megabytes as possible, making sure the quality is as good as possible. And that's how you make a thumbnail like Wemmbu. If you guys found this tutorial useful, make sure to subscribe because I'm trying really hard to hit 10,000 subscribers this year. Also, thank you all for 3,000 subscribers. I appreciate this is a very different kind of video than what I usually make, but I hope it will help at least one person.